Indoors or out, they're beautiful, colourful, striking, and often delicious. That's why we love them and why our plants, leaves, and flowers get most of the attention. But spare a thought for what's happening further down below the surface, busily feeding, supplying moisture to support all the glamour above. I'm of course talking about the roots. I'm going to show you the main types, where to find them, and how to treat them right. The key to good, healthy roots is choosing the right soil to make sure they have access to air and water. So let's dig deeper. For plants growing indoors, there's lots of potting mixes available. Make sure you choose the right ones for your plants. Cacti and succulents love a free draining mix, and that's why this mix is made up of lots of gritty textures to ensure the water drains freely through it. For most indoor plants, a premium potting mix is fine. It's made up of composted wood bark and lots of organic matter and other goodies to ensure that it stays moist but also allows the water to drain freely too. For plants growing outdoors, heavy soils tend to have a high clay content, which means they hold a lot of water and take longer to dry out. This means that roots that like dry periods may experience overwatering. On the other hand, light soils contain a lot more sand, which means they drain really freely and have lots of aeration. So root systems that like moist soils may experience underwatering. To find out more about the soils your plants prefer, check the label or ask your local nursery. But whatever the soil type, make sure the water is getting all the way down the roots and not just the top layer of the soil to help roots develop and mature evenly. Over time, plants have evolved with different kinds of root systems that serve similar functions but in different ways. For example, tap roots, like the humble carrot. The root consists of one main single organ with only a few light root hairs. It's strong and tough to allow it to penetrate down deep to access water. Most of the plant's sugars are stored here, which is why carrots taste sweet when cooked. Fibrous roots, like on this peperomia and ficus, are what most plants have. They grow out from the centre and form a network, all in search of water. Adventitious roots, like on this orchid, are always looking for opportunities. They're creeping out in search of water or clinging to rocks and trees. Monsteras also have adventitious roots. They're vining plants and they use their roots to cling onto the tree trunks as they find their way 20 or 30 metres up into the forest canopy. They can be a little bit unsightly, so if you find them ugly, simply trim them back or you can tuck them into the soil surface. Rhizomes, like on the snake plant and also the rabbit's foot fern, grow sideways to send out new shoots further along from the original plant. Rhizomes are in fact modified stems, so they send out new shoots and fibrous roots at the new node. You can find clumping roots on plants like the flamingo flower, zebra plant, and spider plant. There's a smart reason why plants grow their roots in different ways, and with plants that have rhizomes and clumping roots, it's a way of reproducing without needing a flower to be pollinated. The plant sends out a new growth, usually off the root or stem, that has the potential to become a plant of its own, and it's easy to take advantage of this to create more plants. So let's divide this zebra plant. You can see that it's quite crowded in here. There's lots of individual plants and it's really bursting out of its pot. It's okay to leave in here because it looks quite full. But by dividing it, we create lots of new plants for us to share with friends or place around our homes. Give the pot a good squeeze to help get it out of its home. And hopefully it comes out just like that. You can use secateurs, but I'm just going to use my hands to divide this plant up. The plants will naturally come away. You may have to struggle just a tiny bit, but don't worry, you're not hurting the plants. They're quite resilient. Just like that. So you can see there's a bit of excess roots here, which we can just tease off all the soil, and we can just pinch them back a little bit so they can fit in their new home. So that's a good sized clump there. So I'm going to part fill my new pots, use a good quality potting mix, so I'll hold moisture but also allow it to drain. Place my plants roughly in the centre. Make sure when you are planting up, don't plant it too deep or too shallow, just to the same line where the existing potting mix was before. Otherwise, you risk the roots drying out or rotting. And there's your plant. You can now place around the home or give to a friend. Now I'm going to show you how you can divide a plant with rhizomes, like this snake plant. The process is very similar to clumping plants with a few key differences. So squeeze the pot again to help release it from its home. It should come out hopefully with ease. There we go. So you can see there are 3 little pups or baby plants that are emerging from the mother plant. So they grow out through rhizomes. So we'll move a little bit of the soil away, and here you can see the rhizomes and then the fibrous roots emerging from there. So this little plant is ready to be cut and divided. Place it in the center, roughly, and then backfill. And there's your new baby plant. As you can see, plant roots are amazing. They provide the hard-working and often invisible support to the plants that we know and love. So treat them well and they'll return the favor with lots of lush, healthy growth, both indoors and out.